That's exactly right, and that's what they want. So we have an Agenda 2030 coming our way here, people, and I'm telling you, they're after people like you and me who are
Yep.
unafraid to bend a knee. They're after the homesteaders. They're after the small farmer. They're after our dollar. They're after true currency, um, and they don't like people growing their own food and being independent. They want us on the government teat, and they want us to own nothing and be happy and that be on cricket flour like Klaus Schwab. I know that's doom and gloom, but if you think that's too far fetched and sounds crazy, you're not paying attention. Go
Yep.
look at Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and these things that these globalist campaigns that are coming after our rights and freedoms. And there is a massive sense of urgency because earlier this year we had, the pandemic treaty that was almost, it's in the works of being passed here. In the pandemic treaty, early on, they stated that those who get deemed disinformation in a pandemic um, will be in massive violation of the pandemic
Yep.
treaty laws, and they will basically use any authoritative means necessary to silence people like myself that get deemed disinformation. If this were to pass, let's say if this passed in 2019, and I got deemed disinformation in 2021, I would be behind. I'd
Yeah.
be I'd be arrested.
Yep. I'd be
I
speaking
wouldn't-
to you from a jail cell.
Yeah, I wouldn't just be, hey, they deleted my Instagram, right?
Yep.
I would be phoning home from a jail cell, like, you know what I mean? And so even if I would have that right, and so this is a reality. That's why it's a slippery slope when we have you know these little small eradications of our First Amendment rights and everything else. And again, we have to understand that no pandemic of any kind, no threat of any kind supersedes our inalienable rights of the Constitution. We have to protect that with everything because men have died for it. And, we go to war, for our freedoms and our rights and our liberties here. And so we have to protect that. Enemies abroad or domestic, we have to protect our rights and freedoms.
And people have to understand and know that just a lot of people just want to pick their ball up and go home and think everything's going to be hunky dory because President Trump won. Like we have decades of work to do, decades, because majority of people have been falling asleep on the watch for the last several decades. And all of this came through, and our government works very slow, and that's a good thing. However, it's going to take decades of work of people continually questioning the narrative, standing up for what's right, standing up for the children, standing up for those words on that piece of paper that were inked, right? And if you don't, they're going to be gone. And then you're not going to have that point of saying, "Oh, I wish I would have." You missed your opportunity.
Right. The time is now. And
It is.
again, there's a million quotes out there that talk about the only thing for tyranny to get a foothold is for men to stay complacent. And so I uh, I just feel that sense of urgency. We can't stay complacent. We have to be proactive in this fight. But I am encouraged. Obviously, the Lord is on our side, and if God is for us, who could ever be against us? We are on the right side of history,